The morning started quiet, a little too quiet for my liking. Stepping out of the farmhouse, coffee in hand, I felt the heavy air, thick with the promise of rain. I glanced over at the pasture, and my heart gave a little lurch. The horses were on edge, pacing along the fence. Normally, they'd be grazing peacefully, but not today. "Easy, boys," I murmured, putting my cup down and walking towards them. Scout, my old gelding, snorted a warning. Willow stamped her hoof, her ears twitching. And then I saw him. Jasper, the youngest, standing unnervingly still. A cold dread began to creep in. Something was terribly wrong. Jasper wasn't eating. His head was low, his breathing shallow and quick. My stomach dropped. I knew these signs all too well. Colic, it's the word every horse owner dreads. I bolted back to the house, my hand shaking as I grabbed the phone and dialed the vet. They promised to come as soon as they could, but living out here soon is a relative term. It could be an hour, maybe more. So, I did the only thing I could do, the thing my father taught me years ago. I started walking Jasper, gently, continuously, keeping him on his feet, talked to him in a low, soothing voice, trying to will my own calm into him. The wind began to howl, and the smell of rain was overpowering now. Each minute stretched into an eternity. By noon, the sky had turned a bruised, angry black. A deep rumble of thunder rolled across the valley, and then the heavens opened up. The rain came down in solid sheets, thick and relentless. I guided Jasper into the barn, both of us soaked to the bone, mud clinging to my knees. The world outside was a cacophony of wind and water. Inside, the only light came from an old lantern, casting long, dancing shadows. I threw a couple of dry blankets over Jasper's shivering frame and started rubbing his neck, whispering over and over, "Stay with me, buddy, just breathe." The drumming of rain on the tin roof was deafening, almost as loud as the frantic pounding of my own heart. For a fleeting moment, I felt so small, so utterly helpless against the storm and the sickness, but I couldn't stop. I wouldn't. As I waited, rubbing his coat and listening to the storm rage, my mind drifted back. I was 12 again, standing in this very barn with my father during a similar storm. I remembered being scared, and I remembered his voice, calm and steady, echoing in my head. "You can't fix every storm, Emma," he'd said, his hand on my shoulder, "but you can hold your ground through one." He taught me that horses are mirrors. They reflect what you feel. If you panic, they panic. If you stay calm, they learn to trust you, to lean on your strength. So, right there, in the dim lantern-lit barn, with the storm trying to tear the world apart, I took a deep, steadying breath. The storm could rage all it wanted outside, but in here, with Jasper, I would be the calm. I would hold my ground. I kept walking him, back and forth, the length of the barn aisle. Each step was a prayer, each soft word a promise. Hours blurred together. The rain didn't let up, and the vet still wasn't here. Doubt tried to creep in, whispering that I was losing, that this was a fight I couldn't win alone. I looked at Jasper, his eyes glazed with pain, and I pushed the thought away. I owed it to him to keep fighting. Just as a wave of despair washed over me, I saw a flicker of headlights cutting through the downpour. The vet's truck was finally here. A wave of relief, so powerful it almost buckled my knees, washed through me. We weren't alone anymore. He rushed in, and together, we worked on Jasper, a small team against the fury of the night. It was a long, exhausting battle, but as the first light of dawn broke through the clouds, Jasper finally took a sip of water. The storm had passed and so had the crisis. We had made it. Standing there, exhausted but grateful, I knew my father was right. You can't stop the storms from coming, but you can learn to be the anchor that holds fast until the sun shines again. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. It was a raw and emotional one to share. If you've ever faced a challenge that tested your limits, I hope this offers a little bit of strength. Please, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories from life on the farm. Stay safe and be kind.